I'm Jammer, and welcome to yet another Animal Crossing New Horizons video. I swear, Nintendo just can't stop with these new trailers. As soon as I published yesterday's video, guess what? Nintendo comes out with yet another video showcasing the character customization in full. We finally get answers to a lot of the questions we've been having surrounding the idea of character customization, not only at the beginning of the game, but they also show off how you can change your appearance later in the game if you decide you want to do so. But before we jump into things, I first have to say thank you all so much for the insane amount of support on the recent Animal Crossing videos I've been making. It's seriously every morning I wake up and it's like nearly bringing me to tears. I can't even believe this is even really happening. I'm so humbled and excited that I'm able to share my passion for Animal Crossing with so many of you. It brings me so much joy. So if you are new here, consider subscribing because plenty more Animal Crossing New Horizons content coming down the line. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's just jump right into this. So Nintendo posted 2 trailers showcasing the character creation. The first one we see is the start of the game when you first create your character. That is indicated with the green UI, and we'll start breaking that more into detail in a second. But the second trailer actually shows off how you can customize your character beyond, initially creating your character when you start the game. It's actually shown right here immediately where the player actually interacts with a little mirror on a desk, and that opens up the option to go back to customizing your character. And what this immediately kind of reminded me of was in fact Sims. Because in the Sims series, whenever you do interact with a mirror, you can actually plan your outfits and change your Sims appearance. And this is a first for the Animal Crossing series, because typically once you get your looks, you are stuck with that for the rest of the game. There are ways to change your haircut and stuff, but as far as facial features, skin color for that matter, that was always locked in. Well, the quiz at the beginning of the game that kind of defined what your facial features looked like did have a charm to it, but it's gotten to the point where it's not really that practical anymore. Most people look up the quiz answers online so they can find out what face type they like, and then they select the questions accordingly so then they can get the look that they want. And now here in New Horizons, that process is entirely streamlined because you can just select what you want to look like, which is just so perfect. And the same goes for further customization once you're already in the game, which does in fact include choosing your hairstyle. So it makes me wonder, hello, Hairette? Shampoodle? Is she gone? I do like this more streamlined process, and it makes it so much easier to actually make your character look like what you want with such easier process, but it does make me kind of sad to see characters that typically would assist the player to creating a character, like Happen or Rover doing the interview questions, or of course Hairette helping you change your hairstyle. It's sad to see those roles completely negated, and it makes me wonder what will happen to these characters in this game. But let's get into some of the nitty-gritty details of the categories we see of the character creation. And another thing to mention right off the bat is something we talked about when it comes to gender. And yes, you guys were right in the comments talking about there really is no actual selection of gender. You just go right in and you can customize your character however you want. And what I really like about that is because then it offers a lot more flexibility to how you want to make your character look. Because when hairstyles were specifically locked to genders in previous Animal Crossing games, if you're a guy with longer hair or a girl with a short cut, you couldn't properly represent yourself through your character. And I think that's great that all options are on the table and you can select whatever you want. We were correct with a lot of the categories when we first talked about it in the previous videos that we had, with the scissors being hairstyle, eyes being eyes, nose and mouth being nose, but the question marks we always had was the face icon and the paintbrush. And when I made that corrections video a few days ago, we actually predicted this one right. The face icon being a selection of presets for skin tone. In both the clip of the start of the game and as well as customization later, the selection of options to choose in game are 8 separate colors. The next category is the hairstyles tab. What it looks like for now, there's 4 options to start from. We've already previously seen this same screen very briefly in the direct. But in the later trailer where the player goes back to actually customize their character later in game, you actually see a wide variety of different hairstyle options that they had unlocked. And from what I could count, there was nearly 24 different hairstyles shown off. Approximately. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell between these two. Both of the 2 trailers that showed the customization in-game, after creating your character, showed off a different selection of hairstyles. So I tried my best to kind of gather them all into one place and get a full selection at what we're looking at for options here. And it really does show a wide variety of different hairstyles. There is a handful of returning styles, a lot of classic Animal Crossing haircuts we've seen over the years. Beyond that, there are a handful of ones that are updated, that are similar to returning ones we've seen before, but have some new updates to make them more modernized, or for lack of a better word, make them actually look better and not just completely ridiculous. But most of this selection is actually completely new hairstyles. Although I am worried because I don't see my villager's hairstyle so far, so it better be in the game. Otherwise, I guess it's time to find a new haircut. In addition to hairstyle, there is of course color. There's 8 to start, as well as the same colors were shown in the other trailer as well. But we already know of what we've seen from the direct that there are ways to unlock more additional hair color styles. It just was something they didn't show off here in these trailers. The colors we have are black, brown, bronze, red, blonde, light blonde, gray, and a light gray. All very typical natural color hair colors. And like I just previously mentioned, I'm sure there'll be a Nook Miles reward that you can redeem to get more variety to different hairstyles, like lime green, pink, purple. I mean, we've already seen a render of a player having very vivid blue hair, and that's obviously not an option here, so we already know there's going to be more colors like that you'll be able to unlock at a later date. So let's move on to the next category, being the eyes. This category is massive, giving you, right off the bat, 26 different options for eyes for your character. Like, that is an unbelievable amount of customization. And of course, there is a ton of the returning ones we've known from the series past, and from what I can tell, there really hasn't been any that had been cut. So let's focus on what are the new eye options. This set of 2, number 7 and number 20. Then there was this set of 2, number 9 and 22. Then what was interesting is with this set, number 10 was already previously in the game for girl characters to wear, but there was no male option. Now number 23 is a new option that doesn't have the eyelashes on the sides. And the opposite is true here with number 12 and number 25. Number 12 is a previous eye set we've seen in previous games, but number 25 is now new to this game as well. There is such a massive wide variety of different eye options here. And so this kind of extends to both nose as well as mouth types, which we'll get to in a bit. We haven't seen any indication that there are going to be ways to unlock additional facial features in the game. We have already seen plenty of ways to get new hairstyles, and we've already seen a ton in these videos as well of all these different hairstyle options. So I don't know if it's necessarily going to be likely that you'll have to unlock certain facial features later on in the game. Seems like a kind of weird thing to do, and especially with the giant selection that they do give you right off the bat at the beginning of the game. It seems likely that this is probably all that's going to be offered. And to wrap up eyes, there are 6 eye colors offered, both at the beginning of the game and later in game as well. The eye color selection did not change in the trailers. That is of course dark gray, brown, light blue, hazel, deep blue, and gray. I could see potentially a Nook Mile reward being able to redeem to get different eye color options. But again, I think this selection does a great job kind of capturing all the natural eye color looks, but we'll just have to wait and see. So let's move on to the next category, being the nose and mouth. There are 3 nose options: the traditional triangle nose that has been a staple of the series, then the new round and square noses. And we've seen, of course, both of these noses in plenty of renders before, so this is really no surprise here. However, we do see something new with the mouth options. There's 4 mouth options. There's a more vertical smile, there's a more horizontal smile, there's the little withering lip, and then the new one we've yet to see so far is the little cute buck tooth. And like I said earlier, it does make me wonder if there will be other options beyond these few selections, but I do kind of feel like the facial features themselves, I think, are going to be all offered right off the bat. So then you can make, your character look as much like you as possible right away. It's not something you need to unlock later. I understand unlocking hairstyles and unlocking colors. That's just kind of an accessory to your character. Rather than facial features, it's like actually what your character looks like. I think they are offering all of the options from the start, so then you can make your character look like you or however you want them to look right away. The final category we see, at least in the initial character customization trailer, is the paintbrush. And we talked about potentially it maybe being makeup, and well, we were kind of right. The paintbrush will be the way you can toggle having a blush. You can either have no blush, a solid blush, or a more feathered blush. And then it gives you the immediate color options of pink and tan. But what's interesting to note is later in the trailer, when they go to actually customize the character later in game, there is an additional category at the end of the list, being a pencil icon. We theorized before that potentially some sort of facial hair could be an option in game because we had seen that one accessory having that goatee. I mean, maybe the pencil could still be that, but it still feels really weird to have a pencil icon representing facial hair. It just doesn't click with me. When it comes to UI and icons, the pencil icon is typically associated with typing things in games anyways. Potentially this pencil icon could be a way that you can later change the name of your character. So at least going by the footage from what we've seen in the direct, it did kind of look like you confirmed the name of your villager after finishing the initial character customization. But perhaps when you go back to later customize your character in-game, there could perhaps still be a way to change your name after all. So then really nothing is locked in, because that's what's so beautiful about this character creation is you can change anything you want at all times. There's no restrictions, no bells having to be paid. So with this amazing flexibility with your character customization, wouldn't it be kind of odd if your actual character's name was locked as well? So that's kind of my idea of what that pencil icon could be. Obviously, we've never seen anything of this sort in Animal Crossing before, but I mean, we've never even seen any sort of robust character customization in an Animal Crossing game ever. They're already going against Animal Crossing series trends as it already stands, so it potentially could be a way to rename your character. And kind of building off renaming your character, I mean, what if you can even rename your village? Then truly nothing would be set in stone in this game, because we've already seen with the island designer, even if you don't like the default layout of the town you get when you first start the game, once you progress far enough, you can tear it all up and start all over. And that's what's really beautiful about this iteration of Animal Crossing, providing the player so many opportunities to create the experience they want. They're not going to be locked into some certain game mechanic or something forcing the player to do something they don't want, like a villager moving in the way of a project you're planning, a villager moving in at all that you don't want, having a certain look to your character being locked in, your name for that matter. It really looks like this game is all about full customization, giving so much power to the player. And it is so great to see such a robust character creation in Animal Crossing. Like I said at the beginning of the video though, I will kind of miss those characters that helped guide the player in previous games, you know, like Cap'n and Rover and Harriet, of course, you know. And while the quizzes had their charm to them, they were of course pretty tedious and kind of annoying when you were trying to get the look that you're going for. I hope those characters do make some sort of return in this game in some form or fashion. It'd be really sad if they just are completely vacant, but I totally appreciate the streamlined process of this customization because this is bringing the series to 2020. So now that we have all these questions answered for how to customize your character, do you already have a good idea of how you're going to customize your character? Did your favorite hairstyle return, or are you excited for some of the new ones to try out? Let me know that in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Animal Crossing New Horizons. I seriously can barely keep up with the amount of news Nintendo keeps pumping out with New Horizons, and I would not even be shocked as soon as this video comes out and you're watching it, Nintendo will drop a new trailer showcasing some brand new feature that we've yet to even see before. So I'll see you back here again tomorrow probably. I do want to say once again, thank you all so much for the amount of support on these videos. Like truly, it has been a dream of mine for the longest time to make Animal Crossing content on my YouTube channel. And to see so many people joining our community and all the amazing support you guys have been leaving me in the comments, like it melts my heart because Animal Crossing is such a special series to me. I love it more than anything. Oh, and before I forget, the next video, or a future video I plan on doing, is talking about some of the things that are still missing for Animal Crossing New Horizons. So I'd love to hear some of your ideas of the comments of this video of stuff you've noticed that we have yet to even seen. Characters such as Harriet, Brewster, Cap'n, or shops like the Dream Suite, Shampoodle, Brewster's Cafe, tools such as the diving suit. There's a lot of content in previous Animal Crossing games we've still yet to see here in New Horizons. And while it won't be a definitive list until the game comes out, I think it'll be fun to explore what other stuff we've yet to see in this game that still could potentially be in it. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya!